All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 31st, 2024. This is the last day of the month. Another monthly green candle for the SPY. My SPY pivot this morning is 488.14. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are in bullish uptrends. SPY and Diamond Dow printed new all-time highs yesterday. QQQ, FNGU, IWM closed inside the bullish trap. Gold closed the day above the bullish trap and above the 17 and above its downtrend line. Silver remains bearish but closed the day above the trap, above the 17 and above the daily downtrend line. So silver's making a comeback. USO closed above the bullish trap and above the 17 and remains in an uptrend. That just started its uptrend. UNG never fails to print new lows. Recently, UNG closed the day below the bearish trap, below the 17, still trying to hang on to that uptrend. US dollar index maintains its daily downtrend, again closing underneath the flat 200 after spiking it consistently a few days back. So let's go look at some charts. Start out with SPY. We'll pick it up on the daily chart and we'll zoom in here. You can see here's SPY printing a new all-time high yesterday. Kind of stuck in a range all day right there from basically between 490.36 and 491.49. For the most part, just stayed inside that bullish flag. Now I'm looking at SPY for an MMRP. We had a break of this resistance right through here. You can see we popped up through there, looking for it to come back, maybe hit this VWAP, and then start. That would be the test of what was resistance, now becomes support. Test this resistance area for support and see if price, and looking for confirmation of price to come back up through. And I'd probably be looking at, since the consolidation here was a day, for probably close to three days to the upside. We'll see what happens. Again, we do have FOMC today, so we'll see what happens. So we're watching SPY for a possible birthday trade, possible MMRP. In other words, come back, hit the base, and then shoot up twice as high. So where would twice as high be? Well, let's just box it off, and we'll see where it goes from here. Let's say the breakouts to there. We got up as high as there, 491, and we'll duplicate the box. So we're looking for targets of around 495 up there within the next 2 or 3 days. So we'll see what happens. Of course, FOMC, we'll see if they're going to maintain the halt on raising rates. We're going to find that out today. So we're looking for price to hold right through here on top of this base and then move up twice as high. 495 would be our target. So there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. Pick that up on the daily chart. You see QQQ closing inside the bullish trap over the trend indicator, still in an uptrend, currently in a bull flag. Flagpole starts down here at 403.38, and flagpole runs up to about, let's just say 429.85, 420, basically 429 as it consolidates through there. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU on the daily chart. Let me move this out of the way. All right, another bull flag closing inside the trap This is bullish. That's a bullish trap over the trend indicator. Still in an uptrend. Another bull flag here. Pulling back. Probably going to test this uptrend line. And then look for that to bounce off that uptrend line and make higher highs. There's FNGU. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Here's Diamond Dow closing up over the trap. This is bullish. Nice bullish trap over trend indicator, making brand new highs yesterday. Higher low, higher high on the daily candle. FNGU got a higher low and could barely ink out a higher high right there. Just barely. SPY did ink out the higher high and a higher low. Remember that right there. QQQ's candle came in with a lower high and a higher low, so an inside day. And looks like it's going to be a breakout to the downside. So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. This is the Russell 2000. Another inside day after the breakout. Higher low and a lower high. So closing inside the trap here. Still bullish. We'll see where it wants to go. It seems to want to go higher early this morning. So we'll see what happens there. USO. Let's take a look at some energy. Energy closing up over the bullish trap. Over the trend indicator. You can see USO finally broke this high over here about 4 days ago. And that was the high to beat. It was 71.32. So there's USO putting in a bull flag and consolidating over the prior high that had it stuck inside this downtrend for a while. So we got a double bottom here. Looks like a possible triple bottom here. And now we're moving up, passing through this downtrend line. So energy back in an uptrend finally. UNG still trying to hang on to its uptrend. Has not broken this low right here. So this is the low, and that low is 1857. As long as they continue to hold above that 1857, there's hope for UNG to return back to an uptrend. Right now, it's been consolidating in a bear flag. I think the longer it stays down here, the more likely it is to shoot further down and break this uptrend. So there was the uptrend. You can see it started right there, printing new highs, new lows, put in a higher low, and then made a higher high. Now it's pulling back to test those lows. Hasn't quite got there yet, but let me just say it just keeps inching further and further closer. So there's UNG still in an uptrend, even though it's pulled back this far. Let's take a look at some precious metals. Here's some silver. So here's silver. We have a downtrend line. Let me just extend this. All right, so there's our downtrend line for silver. Silver had the bullish cross right here, 3 crossing over the 8. You got candles, spike the downtrend line, and now you've got a rubber band candle right here from yesterday. Higher low, higher high on silver's candle price action yesterday. All right, so that makes this the rubber band candle. Breaking over that, and we could have a new formed uptrend. I still think it needs to create a higher high, and in order to do that, it's going to have to break up over this area right here, this 421.57. So we'll see if they can do that. Break the rubber band candle and break out over these highs. 421.57 is the target to get silver back into an uptrend. Silver was in an uptrend until it broke this low right there. So it broke this low back in December, probably mid-December, and that was 2069. And you can see we created a lower low. So that's what made it in a downtrend. So now we got to break this high up here and try to return back to that uptrend. Silver, there's precious metals, trying to break out of its downtrend that it got trapped into after breaking this low. Let's take a look at gold. What are we looking for in gold? We're looking for gold to break this downtrend. Gold is still in an uptrend, has not broken this low. Gold just consolidating in a bull flag over to the right. And you can see yesterday's price action, higher low, higher high, closing above the bullish trap. And we just now got the bullish cross, 3 over the 8 right there. So we'll see if we can get some follow through with gold over this downtrend line right there. And let's go take a look at our indicators. T2122. Now this pretty much represents, the majority of the spot stocks in the NYSE. So for the most part, you can see we were in the buy zone all day yesterday. We fell out into the chop zone and recovered back into the buy zone right there on T2122. T2123 started out green yesterday and just held green all day long. T2123, nice work. All right, and that pretty much shows it because we were in the buy zone all day on the T2122. T2123 3 bar, whole lot more space opening up between trend indicator and price action. Nice work there for the NYSE. FNGU indicator, well, we gapped up, not quite gapped up, but we traded up here, and then we just faded under VWAP all day. So you can see here's FNGU just fading down all day, and it looks like FNGU is going to spike this rising 200 pretty hard, and it's coming all the way back down to this base right here. I can see it in the morning. So there's some minor support right there. I don't know how well that's going to hold. It's only a couple days of price action. We may get a dollar bounce off of it. We'll see what happens. But there's FNGU right into the minor support this morning. And let's go take a look at, what do we want to look at? How about we look at the dollar index? All right, so here's our July lows. All right, here's our October highs. It's our failure in November to make a new high. Came all the way back to the flat 200, passed through that. And we checked major support hold, held. And you can see us produce a bull flag to challenge the downtrend line. Pass through the downtrend line. You can see a 9-day bull flag right here. Finally, you stay up here too long, you get a breakout to the upside. And then we find ourselves back at the flat 200. Now we've been consolidating here for about 10 or 12 days. So you can see now price action spending a whole lot of time here. Usually the next move is up. We'll see what happens. They stay here too long. I think the next move is up. We've got candle wicks that just all stop right here at 103.76. Excuse me, 103.70. Most all of them stop right there. So up over 103.70, I think this thing shoots up to challenge these highs over here. Maybe even this resistance line right through here at 105. But here we are with the dollar stuck at the flat 200. All right, so is it going to roll over? Well, maybe this FOMC announcement will inspire it for a breakout. It's going to be one side or the other, but I think it's really going to move today. So there's that. And then earnings. We had some big earnings last night. We had Microsoft, we had Google, we had AMD, we had Stryker, Starbucks. Whole lot of earnings came out last night. And you can see Microsoft's about $3 trillion in market cap. Google, almost $4 trillion in market cap. AMD, only a third of a trillion. Still quite respectable right there. So let's see what we got for earnings this morning. All right, we got some pharmaceuticals, Novartis, about $488 billion. That's quite a bit. MasterCard, $413 billion. Some more pharmaceuticals, $228 billion for Novartis. Thermo Fisher Scientific, $215 billion. Qualcomm's going to report this evening, 167 billion. And Boeing's going to report this morning, 124 billion. So we'll see what happens this morning. We got some pharmaceuticals in there. And Qualcomm's will be the interesting one tonight. But the main event this week, all right, happens today at 2 p.m. All right, but before we get there, we've got ADP. So we got some employment situation, or the employment numbers coming out at 8:15, probably already out. Treasury's going to announce their refunding. Employment cost index 8:30, and 9:45 we got Chicago PMI, and then we got the petroleum status report at 10:30, and then comes FOMC at 2 p.m. and then a little presser is going to happen at 2:30. So we'll see what happens there. Should be a lot of volatility today between the big earnings that happened, that the big earnings announcement last night and the FOMC today. Now, let me just say those earnings, they really didn't look too bad for them to melt off like they did. Let's go look at what happens tomorrow. We got jobless claims 8:30, productivity and cost at 8:30, PMI manufacturing final 9:45, ISM manufacturing index at 10, construction spending at 10, natural gas at 10:30, and a Fed balance sheet later. We got for Friday, we got a more employment situation at 8:30. So we got employments happening, this morning, Thursday, and Friday. Consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. Factory orders at 10 a.m. So I'll take questions in the room. And if I don't have any questions, I'm going to render my video for today for the max pain. Max pain for today is 479. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but we've seen some wild stuff happen. 479 is max pain. I don't think that's happening at all. So, all right, so I'll take questions. Other than that, everybody that I missed, good morning. All right, and I'm going to go render my video if there's no questions.